up, guys? Alpha Blue 5.0. Today's video is in one of my segments where, while scrolling the internet, you just kind of find the obscure, kind of weird sites, and found one of them today, so I figured I'd run through it today with you guys and make a video on it, and make sure to sit back and relax and like and subscribe. Alright, peace. What's up, guys? Today on this web browsing, we're on Exit Mundi. It is a collection of basically the end of the world scenarios, and they have quite a lot of them. So I figured I'd run through them today and make a list and just kind of run through them, pick a couple of them, and see what they got to say for end of the world scenarios. Alright, best part. Isn't life a bitch? The world is going to end. You don't even have to be a religious fundamentalist to see that's true. Some people collect postal stamps. Exit Mundi collects scenarios of what would go wrong with the world. What could go wrong with the world? Sure, our planet could get hit by an asteroid, but hey, that's nothing. Did you know we could all be munched away by hungry molecules? Or that our physicists could unintentionally wipe us all out while tinkering with particles? Oops, sorry. Exit Mundi isn't in it for doom preaching, but strictly for fun. It's fascinating thought if that deleted comment didn't wipe out the dinosaurs 65 million years ago, we wouldn't be here pondering about apocalypses and Armageddons in the first place. The dinosaur roamed our planet millions of years ago, longer than we did. If it wasn't for the comet, they still would. That's why this site is a tribute to floods, quantum explosions, and awfully big chunks of space rock falling out of the sky. Meteors. If there's a lesson to be learnt, it should be that within every end looms the dawn of a new beginning. Sounds good, doesn't it? Not really. If you know any other cool apocalyptic scenarios, please let us know. Contact us. Okay. So, yeah. They got the intro down, so. Alright, let's go into these. Well, first off, damn, man, they got a lot of these. They're not really titled all that well. Kind of sucks, so we're just going to have to go in and... Oh, here we go. Fuck. That's the title, man. I just can't make those shit up. So, what should boil into that one, huh? It would be a bit of an anticlimax instead of some huge catastrophe. Doing us in, humanity may simply go extinct all by itself. Actually, the big decay may have already begun. Human fertility seems... Oh my god. Have already begun. Humanity fertility seems to be declining frighteningly fast. A couple of generations more, and the human race could be history. Oh, okay. So the premise is basically like if dudes just start shooting blanks forever, the world would end. So, I guess technically. All right, let's go. You would hardly notice it at first. Gradually, street life is becoming calmer than it used to be. Less people, less traffic. It's a relief at first. Kind of would be. No more housing problems, no more traffic jams, no more queues for the movies. Okay, not sounding bad at all. But after a while, your cheerfulness subsides. Slowly it begins to dawn on you what's happening. You're witnessing the demise of a species. Your species, to be precise. Humankind is about to join the dodo, the woolly mammoth, and the Netherland man. Neanderthal man. The human race is heading for extinction. Okay, so you decide you'll have kids. In an attempt to turn the tide. I don't think a lot of people decide they have kids. They just... Whoops. But then the grimness of the situation really lashes out at you. No matter how hard you and your partner try, no pregnancy, you turn to one of the fertility clinics that are by now very common. But the doctors can't help you out. You're infertile, the two of you. If you're a man, you're the one to blame. Right? Your sperm is of no use. you can have sex all you like, but your semen just doesn't do the trick. Yeah, I guess this is their scenario. It's a generation or two later that has changed completely. The fertility clinics are all deserted now because they didn't work worth shit. There's animals living in them and weeds growing all over them, and what used to be crowded streets, trees now grow. Wild dogs and rats troll the deserted cities. Erosion gnaws on what used to be buildings, and outside the city roads, farms lay barren, like a fading memory of once was. Sure, if you look hard enough, you'll find some small pockets of humans that still survive. Mankind is bewildered species by now largely outnumbered by the birds, the rats, the dogs, the wolves, the bears, and blah, blah, blah. But in the end, there's no survival. Human is simply no longer... But I figured, dude, if, like, this started happening in all these generations, like, nobody was coming, like, dude, there'd be, like, a lot of mismanagement, dude. Government would go on, like, overdrive. There'd be people, like, probably, like, freaking out. There'd probably be, like, riots and, like, you know, like, power plants wouldn't be running properly. Like, dude, I imagine there'd be, like, some sort of, like, nuclear fallout or something. Like, I imagine, like, if shit ain't maintained, like, stuff's going way downhill. Like, granted, this is way down the road, I guess, than at first, but things will go out pretty fucking quick, dude. We kind of need lots of people to keep running our systems. Okay, but in the end, there's no survival. Yeah, right? Human is simply no longer viable. There will be a last group of humans, and then the very last human being. Eventually, the last human gets old and dies. Don't think he's getting very old before he dies, and just don't see that as an outcome. And that will be it. There will be no more laughter, no more voices, no more thoughts. The only thing left is a couple of ruins scattered over the face of the planet. Or it'd be like the end of the world, given like all this like shit that would just completely just go to hell, like nuclear power plants and all sorts of like lists, like be astronomical, dude. It'd probably be like the end of the world, dude. Seriously. Feel sad already? Apologize. You should. The slow extinction outlined here is definitely one of the most depressing apocalypses you could think of. Well, the good news is we aren't about to witness it anytime soon. With 5 billion people living on the planet today, overpopulation is more of a problem than extinction. It's a big mystery. While male fertility is declining. Many researchers blame the pollution. There's all kinds of chemicals everywhere in the air and in your food. We just don't know exactly what all these substances do to the human body. Others blame the human habit of wearing clothes. What? Men have their testicles outside their body because sperm can't stand high temperatures, and pants and underwear undo this. That's kind of, but that's pretty far-fetched, dude. Clothes warm up your balls. Oh my god. Sorry, I read that last part. And it doesn't help that the carnivore species is sped up by... more and more people adopt the industrial Western lifestyle. More women working rather than having kids. I'm just reading what was said. And with reliable contraceptives widely available, more and more choosing to have children at a later age, and less children. Eventually, this trend will lead up to the point when the number of humans will no longer grow and actually start to shrink. The turning point is supposed to be around the year 2150. So bring out the clones, you say. If you're running out of humans, you just make some new ones in a laboratory somewhere. I mean, duh. Oh, come on, be real. Yeah, thank you. Cloning doesn't work as well as the media and the scientists like us to believe. What they don't tell you in the newspapers is the most clone attempts simply fail. For example, it took 200 attempts before Cece the cat, the world's first clone pet, came along. And then there's still insurmountable problem of old age. Right. But don't relax yet. Our species has a reputation for being not particularly good to reproduction. One out of 4 couples have serious problems getting pregnant, and even if you have sex at the height of female fertility, there's only a 10 to 20% chance of pregnancy. That's probably the reason why humans are the only mammals that have sex throughout the year instead of only during spring. Now, given these problems, you just don't want our species to become less fertile as well. So, yeah, I guess, yeah, that could be some major problems. I don't really see that as, like, too probable of happening, but kind of is a point, though. Like, a lot of people do struggle a lot having kids and, you know, problems, you know. Yeah. So, we're going to go to the next one. Because that one was kind of depressing. They might all be depressing, but that one was really bad. Alright, we'll go to this guy. The guy with the right there. Resistance is futile. If you're a Star Trek fan, no. Hearing those words probably immediately triggers one thought. The Borg. The Borg is the ultimate nightmare. Humanity enslaved by a computer. Luckily, it is only fiction. Or is it? Or is it? I guess maybe it is. Who knows? Who knows? In Star Trek, they come in a cube, a huge spaceship it is, filled with millions of people. Well, they're not really people. They are the Borg. The people in the cube have no free will, no mind of their own. They are one. They're plugged into the mainframe computer called the Borg. They're cyber slaves, poor little creatures. But that's science fiction, right? Not so. In fact, as we speak, the Borg is lurking just around the corner, waiting for its chance. It won't come in a cube from outer space, though, but from the very place you're on right now. Facebook. Oh my gosh, the internet. And it comes... What? And if it comes, resistance will indeed be futile. Signs are disturbing. Let's do a little experiment, please. Find out what Aberystaka is. I assume you're just going to tell me what it is, so I'm not even going to bother. Done that? No. Okay, all of you readers have probably followed the exact same routine. No. You've opened Google and entered Aberystaka. All of you will have found the same search results. You will have visited the same websites, have observed the same information for a very brief and fleeting moment. You were one silly example. You snort. Haha, you're a snort. But hold on. That was just a warm-up. Warm you up a little. The real stuff is yet to come. Brace yourself. What you are about to read could change the way you see your humble computer and the internet forever. 1. We are being cyborged. Alrighty, there are many experiments with simple implants being inserted into people's brains. What, bro? No, there's shit going in my brain. I don't know what the fuck. Most of them are there for our health. The implants bring back some hearing or even some eyesight, or cure you from terrible conditions like depression or extreme phobias. Oh, dude, don't they give you like a little hearing aid, little thing, and like, you know, do the little laser, doo-doo, in your eye? What? Brain implants. Y'all getting them? Don't get them. Cyborg. But some implants have more luxurious functions. They connect to your brain. They connect to your brain in order to make you move your artificial limb if you happen to be missing one. Or they make you control the cursor of your computer by mind control if you're paralyzed. What? What? You're saying I get a little chip in my little skull cranium spot and then like scroll with just my mind like, no, that's what my finger. Most experts agree that this is just the beginning. Eventually, we will see more and more implants need to learn Greek? No. Just have a cyber doctor plug a tiny chip into your brain. I mean, it's that easy. Bye now. Much like a memory stick, want better eyesight? The doc will upgrade your visual cortex a bit. Vision 2.2, a 5.0, like, and so on and so on. 5.0. Of course, these are exciting, good things, but there's a downside. Computer hardware isn't, dude, my biggest thing here, like, okay, so you start getting all this, like, shit, and dude, people are gonna hack this shit, and people are gonna, like, there's gonna be, like, malware put in your brain, and then what? Like, you're gonna be, like, a psycho killer cyborg or some shit, like, bro, Edward Snowden got in the NSA and, like, CIA and shit. Like, you know, now you're saying, oh, it's a Chippy, you'll be fine. No, I won't. Oh, my God. 2, we are being assimilated or whatever the fuck. In small high-tech countries like Singapore and the Netherlands, the internet is everywhere. You go in everywhere you look already. Gaming, shopping, dating, emailing, working, reading about the end of the world. It's all done over the internet, son. And the web is still on the rise. Not only it on ever more home computers as we speak. It is entering TV sets. It is conquering laptops. Yeah, okay. Internet's everywhere. It is only likely the last device will be us. Of course, the computers implanted in our brains will be connected to the internet. The advantages are just too big not to let this happen. We'll have internet in our ears and internet on our eyes. Literally, our brains will be permanently online. Yeah, okay. We're being bored, so here you are. You've got a computer plugged into your brain. Your mind is online all the time. You're one smart cyborg. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, here we go. Probably the biggest danger are viruses that build themselves. Already there are many experiments with software that becomes smarter. Software that evolves consistently, improving itself. With it. I feel like he's trying to sell me on it, but at the same time saying, like, this could be bad. Like, yeah, a cyborg might, okay, for starters, to eliminate everyone who hasn't simulated yet against their will. The Borg will force the hunt down everybody who hasn't. Okay, you're going, like, really far-fetched. I don't know about this stuff. I don't know, no, apocalyptic it would be, but I don't know, I could see, like, yeah, I don't know, say 100 years down the road, I imagine, yeah, dude, we'll have, like, probably some shit in our fucking brains, and then, like, yeah, hacked. So, next, go to the next one. Okay, this bitch is kind of freaky. Okay, let's do this. Is humanity going insane? Although it seems weird to be true, there are some quite serious clues that the civilized world will one day fade out into mass insanity. What? Dude, they got like everything up in here. Just picture it. A world full of nutcases. Yeah, go on some websites, you'll already see that it's true, you know what I'm saying? On the streets, you'll see people flapping their arms and shouting their airplanes. What the fuck? In the president's office. What? They'll be flapping their arms in the president's office saying they're fucking airplanes? What? Is this idiocracy? Omorum will say, I wonder what this button does and promptly start a nuclear war. What? Others will kill themselves jumping from buildings to prove they can fly, shooting each other up for fun, or stepping in front of the trains because they think they're Superman. Admitted, it will be a rather odd way of going out. Be a rather fucked up way, like everybody just goes completely fucked. But actually, the nutcase scenario is not that idiotic. Well, you didn't really sell me at the beginning of this. That is not. I got high marks on a dead serious ranking of what can go wrong with the world, published once by the popular science magazine Discover. Indeed, there's some quite serious evidence we're heading for total insanity. We're a more mentally deranged species than ever, and we're going crazy all the time. The figures show depression, anxiety, eating disorders, okay, maybe anxiety, I don't know, eating disorders. What does that have to do with anybody, like, saying they're a fucking plane and, like, jumping out of a window or starting a nuclear holocaust? Dude, Huge bad examples there. Just look at the figures. An estimated 6% of all men and 10% of all women suffer from depression. It's some way here or there, like in some way or another, like I think kind of everybody might suffer a little bit. 10 to 20% of all kids have some kind of mental illness or behavioral disorder, or their kids. In the U.S. alone, something like 20 million people suffer from some kind of anxiety disorder, and that's not everything. The World Health Organization expects that by 2020, depression will be the second major cause of disability, right after heart disease. Have we entered the age of misery and malarkey? The Canadian Journal of Psychiatry asked in an editorial. Sounds hefty, right? Fortunately, there's also a lot to be held against the figures. With even more people on the planet, it's only normal the number of mentally ill should rise due to more people on the earth. Nowadays, that's all changed. There are treatments for all kinds of mental inconveniences, ranging from mild depression to fear of the dentist. In fact, because of the revolution in psychiatric science, there's a syndrome for all kinds of behavior. Yep, man. No one's drinking, having sex, smoking, blah, blah, blah. Our strengths to label all these things as problems of mental abnormalities that shouldn't be there. The World Health Organization is no longer an exception under their mental and neurological disorders. They also list smoking, tobacco, marijuana, epilepsy, and drinking alcohol. Okay, yeah. But wait a sec. All that said, the prospect of humanity ending up totally wacko is actually very likely. You read that right. Very likely. It doesn't have anything to do with strengths, but with basic biology. People are just getting fucking stupid and eating Tide Pods and snorting condoms. Kind of agree. Don't think it'll be to the end of the world, but yeah, people surely have gotten a lot fucking dumber. I agree with that statement. Just don't think that's going to be the end of humanity. End of a lot of people. You keep eating shit like Tide Pods or something, you know. Quit doing that shit. Yeah, alright. On to the next one. I don't know, I want to find one that's like really, like, what the fuck, dude. Some of them I'm not even going to do terrorist attacks. Like, get the fuck out of here. I don't know. I assume that one has to do with oil or something. Alright, let's do the flip. Oh, Roro. What the fuck? That like 404? No? Apparently this one hasn't been updated or something. Like, what the hell's going on there? Yeah, okay. No, really, just don't want to know it. There's a remote but extremely terrifying possibility our planet is about to be swallowed from within by a man-made black hole. What? In fact, our planet could be booby-trapped with a baby black holes already. It's one weird way to go. Yeah, I would agree. One moment we're here and the next, you're not. It will be sudden and dramatic. Within seconds, the planet with everything and everyone on it is reduced to nothingness. Or actually, it is squeezed together into a tiny black hole no more than 9 millimeters wide. Get the fuck out. What are you talking about, dude? Like 9 millimeters for the whole world. And a man-made black hole on the Earth is then 9 millimeters wide and going to suck the world into it on the... Next. Okay, if you were able to play back the tape of what went wrong very slowly, you would see something very peculiar. Suddenly, you would see the Earth deform. Obviously, not a very good sign. Probably not. Our planet is flattened out to become a disk. Oh shit, flat earthers, you'd be right for like 10, maybe like 2 seconds. Nice. Beams of radiation shoot up from where the poles used to be, and then zip! No more Earth. The planet's gone. Nice. Just like that. Within a split second, it would simply vanish right before your eyes. Oh, yeah, I guess if you're watching a tape. Yeah, I see. Understandably on board the International Space Station, this was caused some confusion to say the least. Yeah, it's some confusion. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Like, dude, you just say, hey, Houston, we got a problem. There's no more Earth, bro. Astronauts would be stunned to find that their spaceships suddenly no longer orbits a planet. A little alarming, to say the least. But well, nothing much really. Nothing much really. The only thing that is out there is a tiny black spot, invisible to the eyes. Still, this speck has the same mass as the Earth. For the time being, the space station will remain in orbit just like the moon and the satellites. A very silly thing to see, of course. Perhaps some astronauts would realize what has happened. They might recall how back in the early 21st century, physicists tried to create baby black holes in the lab, and now, many years later, well, the black hole obviously did show up after all. I just don't know, dude. You were orbiting in space. All of a sudden, like, Earth just, like, gets zipped. And you're sitting in the fucking International Space Station, bro. Dude, like, I imagine with our whole, like, system, or, like, everything aligned. Like, dude, if you just take a planet out of our solar system, I don't think you're just gonna keep fucking orbiting, dude. I imagine everything gets out of whack. You probably go, like, shooting out in space, and what would happen to our whole galaxy, I imagine, would somewhat get out of whack, dude. Like, no, the whole Milky Way, dude, just fucked. Like, dude, I don't think you can just warp a planet away and just like, yeah, we'll just no more Earth, no, we just go to Mars. I don't think it'd work like that, dude. No way. Let's build a hole, the science of DIY by black holes. Luckily, the chances of this disaster outlined above really happening should be vanishingly small, but some risk is there all the same. First, you should know that, in principle, making a black hole is easy. Okay, making a black hole it's pretty easy shit. Do it all the time. Basically, the only thing you need to do is to slam two tiny subatomic particles together in a particle accelerator, and if you use enough force, the collision should yield a tiny black hole. To find out, oh no way, dude, you totally undersold the shit out of that. Like, oh no, man, just get a subatomic particle because you find them at Walmart. You put them together in a particle accelerator. You find that at Menards. And if you use enough force, it's probably astronomically high. Like, I'm sure, like, just completely fucking nuts. Well, the collision should yield a tiny black hole. They can just have his little pet. You know what I'm saying? Little black hole pets. Dude, get the fuck out of here. That was funny the way you explained that, just so idiotically. Like, that was dumb, dude. Until recently, most scientists believed creating baby black holes couldn't be done on our planet, because it's probably extremely hard to do. You would need a particle accelerator as big as the solar system. What? As big as the fucking solar system? And what did you just say? Making a black hole is easy. Okay, well, give me an accelerator the size of the solar system. Most scientists assume, but nowadays, that's all changed. Quite a lot of physicists think that a much smaller particle accelerator can do the trick, too, such as the Large Hadron Collider, LHC. A particle smasher to be opened in Switzerland in 2007. Oh my god, dude. I don't know. But there is always a small possibility that their predictions are wrong. At first, no one would notice. They wouldn't eat up the lab or something. Instead, they would escape. One by one, the baby black holes would leak away from the lab, going through concrete walls, as if they didn't exist. If you're that small traveling, oh my god, through solid objects is no problem. You just rarely bump into a molecule. Okay. Sorry, man. Okay. That was hilarious. So there you go. That's Exit Mundi. You guys can come and check these out yourself. I'm glad I picked out all the funny ones, but I'm sure there's some serious ones in here that you guys can roam through and check out. Yeah. And that is it. So have a good one. It's Exit Mundi. Kind kind of end of the world scenarios, but they're kind of funny, pretty good. Make sure to go and check out that site and just kind of read a few for yourself. Thanks again for watching. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit your little notification icon. And I will see you in the next video. Peace!